The journey that I've undertaken has surprised me too. A 17-year-old girl was crossing the road right in front of my apartment complex, got run over by a bus and died on the spot. Startups are formed to solve for a problem.
Exactly.
And in Bengaluru, we have a massive problem of municipal governance that needs to be solved. The focus is only on its municipal governance. We do not take a stance or we do not take part in any of the national or state issues. And that's why I think we can create true impact at the grassroots level.
Wonderful.
Other parties have winnable people, but can't make them work.
Correct.
Whereas here, I'm trying to get people who are working on the ground, people who know how to work. I'm trying to see how best we can make them win.
Great.
And I think that's definitely a solvable problem.
Yes.
We had zero resources, zero money. We got it done. Some of the BBMP officials call us and ask us for doubts and clarifications. The city has a budget of almost about 20,000 crores per annum. And every ward gets a budget of 100 to 200 crores, which today is getting siphoned off.
So can we say the BNP Corporators can also be called as Corporators?
Absolutely.
Welcome to the Insider Opinion podcast. Bengaluru is known for its startup culture. You have a problem, Bengaluru has a startup solution for it. Be it EdTech, MedTech, AI. But today, we are trying to talk to a startup which is solving a very unique problem. The problem of governance and politics. Yes, we have with us the founder of Bengaluru NavaNirmana party, which is solving the problem of governance, civic apathy and politics in Nama Bengaluru. Great pleasure to introduce you all to Srikanth Narasimhan, the founder of Bengaluru NavaNirmana party. Firstly, Srikanth, very interesting journey. You're an engineer from BITS Pilani. You're an IIM graduate. And then you have worked 25 years in the investment banking sector. And you have also been a part of the board of directors for many companies. Very, very nice profile. Maybe one day I would have seen you as a CEO of a very big, the Big Four or India's Big Four very soon. But when did this thing change that, you got into the politics and civic activism and all those things? We are very keen to know about that.
I think you've already given a little bit of my background. Let me delve a little bit deeper. I come from a typical lower middle class background. Absolutely no background or no interest in politics, may I dare say, for many, many years. Very comfortable corporate life, post very strong academic credentials. So if it is surprising you, you're not the first person. The journey that I've undertaken has surprised me too. So that's the way my journey has evolved. But the journey from corporate world to politics, in a way I would say was serendipitous or accidental. But then there was a logical progression to it. I didn't plan for anything. I think things started happening one after the other, which I think we will cover as we move forward. But suffice it to say that there has always been a rebellious streak in me for a long, long time. I've never paid a single rupee of bribe in my life ever for anything.
Wow.
Whether it was for my passport or for my marriage. Even now, my marriage is not registered. We do not have a marriage certificate, so to say. That's because the guy who was trying to register it asked me for a bribe, which I refused to pay. So technically, my wife and I are in a live-in relationship, so to say. We got it notarized subsequently, so all that is good. But that rebellious streak has always been there in me.
Wonderful.
And I think that's probably one of the reasons why, even though this journey was serendipitous and accidental, in a way it was logical, because I think this was the end point. In a way, let me call it that this is what destiny had in store for me.
Wonderful.
More of that later.
Yes. I think I would like to catch on to the word rebel, right? So, you are a rebel, and what is your cause?
So, for me, this journey, there were a few trigger points for me. It's not like overnight there was under a both tree enlightenment happened or anything of that sort. A series of incidents that sort of changed my life. I had zero interest in politics earlier, to the extent that I never used to go out and vote, thinking that politics is all dirty. What's the point in even going out and voting?
Correct.
But then a series of incidents actually changed my life from being a non-voter to saying that we need to be part of the system to bring about change. I will probably talk about just one or two of those things that happened, which will probably give you a little bit of a sense. Number one, I live in an apartment complex on Old Madras Road. And when I took over as the secretary of my apartment complex, way back in 2012-13, I realized that we were being targeted by government agencies, by the civic bodies, and by politicians and officials. We were effectively the milking cows for them. Anytime they needed money, we living in apartment complexes, the point was we do not vote, we are rich people, we are apathetic, and hence impose whatever rules, whatever penalties, whatever fee structures that you want, even if it is discriminatory in nature. Keep doing that. And you know what? People were complying with that without even asking questions. And for me, that rebellious streak, I said, I wanted to question, why should we pay more for water when we are consuming less? And that was very, very important for me to at least raise our voice against. And when I started doing all of this, I realized that it was all not accidental, it was deliberate. They were targeting us. And I said...
And when was this?
This was around 2012-13. And that's what led to the founding of Bangalore Apartment Federation. BAF. And I said, enough is enough. You know, we living in apartment complexes, we just can't put up with all this nonsense without raising our voice. And that's what led me to the founding of Bangalore Apartment Federation, to give a voice to apartment complexes.
Wonderful.
Through that, we have taken up a lot of initiatives, and as we speak, there is a panel that's going to happen with the Deputy Chief Minister in the coming week. So today we have a voice, but it was not like that 10, 12 years.
Strong voice, rather.
Very strong voice.
Because
but it was not like this 10, 12 years
I remember a couple of years ago, a decade and a half ago, the government would come up with rules and regulations every alternate day and change them. And the brunt would be borne by the apartment
residents.
And I think today, that is not so easy with the apartments.
It is absolutely not easy.
BAF.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Today it's a very strong voice. BAF today has about 1,400 apartment complexes members, representing almost about 10 lakh apartment residents. And it has become a strong voice. But as I said, that was not the case 10, 12 years back.
Wonderful. So
it took a lot of effort. I will talk about that separately if required. But for me, this whole thing around harassment and discrimination that we were facing was unacceptable. And in a way, that was the first step for me into my social, and ultimately what I realized is the political life that I've gotten into.
Wonderful.
But something even more important happened. Right? Even though I had founded BAF and that was going on its own path, politics was never of interest for me. But I would say a series of incidents or series of events changed my life. But I would like to highlight one significant thing that happened. I live on Old Madras Road, near a junction called as Beninganhalli Junction. There is a very, very important life-changing event that happened, I think around 2017-18, late 2017, early 2018. A 17-year-old girl was crossing the road right in front of my apartment complex, got run over by a bus and died on the spot. And what has this got to do with misgovernance or anything? It's got everything to do with misgovernance. That spot, that junction was a very hazardous junction to cross the road. And we had all known this as residents living there. And we'd been asking for a skywalk for us to cross the road very safely. And this had been going on for a few years. But the politicians were just unwilling to listen to our voice. And what did it lead to? It led to as tragic and as disastrous a thing as
a death.
A 17-year-old girl losing her life. One entire promising life just snuffed out in a millisecond. When you look back, it's a direct consequence of the misgovernance that we are seeing. What does it take to put a skywalk in place? And even after such an incident happened, we went and asked for that skywalk to be done. The politicians were just unwilling to listen. And we had to do a death of a 17-year-old girl. What does it take you to start taking action? Even a death doesn't spur you into action. I'm talking of the politicos and the political parties. Then we had to do a protest. We do a protest with about 800,000 people. The moment we do a protest with that numbers,
Automatic.
project automatically appears out of nowhere.
Get sanctioned.
It got sanctioned, and the work started. And guess what? Within 1 month of the work starting, a road gets dug up on both sides of the road. The work comes to a grinding halt.
Oh,
Why? A commission,
he's not paid.
40% commission has to be paid to the powers that be.
Hmm.
And the contractor refused to pay because in a road you can do a shoddy job. A drain you can do a shoddy job. But a skywalk you can't leave it half constructed, or you can't do a shoddy job because if it collapses it will lead to loss of further lives.
Correct.
The contractor refused to pay. And guess what? The contractor was forced to stop the project.
Oh.
And that's the day that I realized that the value of a 17-year-old girl's life in this city, in this country, is just that 40% bribe that is to be paid to the politician. And a series of other incidents that happened. Beyond a point, I said, what's the point in we sitting and complaining
Correct.
in our chairs? We are in a way equally responsible for the mess. We don't come out and vote. We don't take part in the system. We don't take part in politics, saying that it's for dirty people. Politics is dirty not just because the bad people got in. It's also because the good people like you and me, we have stayed away. And I felt that that's something that had to change. That's what led to the founding of Bengaluru NavaNirmana Party, BNP.
Wonderful. So can we say that your first startup was the BAF, and then you pivoted into BNP? And then that's
I would call it a pivot because BAF is still continuing as an independent entity. Yeah, you can say that BAF was an apolitical startup.
Correct.
BNP is a political startup. And the reason why I would agree with you when you said that it's a startup is because startups are formed to solve for a problem.
Exactly.
And in Bengaluru, we have a massive problem of municipal governance that needs to be solved. We have this massive problem of the civic infrastructure that needs to be set right.
Yes.
BNP is all about solving for that municipal misgovernance problem. It's all about solving for the civic infrastructure mess that is there. I want to solve that and start working towards making Bengaluru the best city in the world.
So I want to dig in deeper about this because I think every startup tries to solve a problem, right? And it uses technology and a lot of other, devices to help to solve a problem. Now, you have already told that you're trying to solve the problems of the city Bengaluru. There are multiple such things. So we have established that. Now, how are you trying to solve that problem, and how do you think a BNP is going to do? Isn't it going to be another political party? That's something that I think India has seen many people come up and go. We need somebody who can convince us now that you're here for a long term and you're here to actually make a change. Can you throw some light about that?
Yeah. In fact, one interesting anecdote that happened when I started the party, we were trying to figure out what should be the name of the party.
Okay.
We were thinking of different names. And somebody humorously said, let's yap. Yet another political party. Right? So, as you rightly said, there are many parties that have come and gone, right? Yet another political party. But I firmly believe that this is not yet another political party. Let me explain.
Wonderful.
I pretty much everybody would want to say the same thing. But let me throw this challenge at you, and let me throw a challenge to all the viewers. Can you name a single party, either in India or in the world, that focused on just one city and only its municipal governance? To my knowledge, there is no party in the entire world that exists for one city and to solve for its municipal governance.
Okay. Let me correct this for the benefit of my understanding and the viewers' understanding. You are today claiming that PNP, Bengaluru NavaNirmana Party, is only going to work or contest elections in the city of Bengaluru?
Yes, absolutely. And that's the reason why I am boldly claiming that this is the only party, not just in India, possibly in the entire world, that is of this nature.
That is a very, very strong statement, very bold statement.
So the reason why I believe that we can make a change and we will be different from the other parties is the focus is only on Bengaluru. The focus is only on its municipal governance. We do not take a stance or we do not take part in any of the national or state issues. Whether it's the hijab controversy or the Dharmasthala controversy, whether it is the India-China issue, India-Pakistan, India-US, Vande Mataram, we do not even think about these, issues.
But what if you have MLAs and MPs tomorrow?
We are not going to contest in the MLA MP elections. We are going to contest only in the municipal elections. We are going to contest only in the corporator elections.
Wow.
And we want to focus only on the civic issues, civic amenities and civic infrastructure of Bengaluru. And I believe that this itself is a huge, huge problem to be solved for. And that itself is going to take many, many years. So BNP is truly unique from the perspective that we are focused only on the civic issues, civic amenities and civic infrastructure without any focus or stance on the national or state issues. We contest only in the municipal election.
Why is this stance?
So look at it this way. We have other parties which have come in.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond a point, I think the failure of the other parties is there is a lack of focus.
Lack of focus.
Again, you talked about a startup. Let's assume that you're going to compete against an Amazon. You're not going to go and say that I'm going to compete against Amazon globally and everywhere. There is a problem that Amazon is not in a position to solve for, and you find that gap and you come in. And you need to have that focus in solving for that problem. And today, there is a massive crater of a problem called as municipal governance in not just Bengaluru, in other cities.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the cudgels on behalf of Bengaluru.
Wonderful.
So focus only that. So we try to solve for just this problem. So there's a problem of focus that I think we'll be able to solve with this. There is another problem which some of the parties have gone through, which is you start getting into something and let's say you have some success in that. Political ambition takes over.
Yeah.
I don't want to name the party, but there is one party which I think has fallen prey to that.
Yes.
You had success in one pocket,
Yeah.
and you thought that you will sort of go and solve for all the problems. And beyond a point, there's political ambition that leads to wrong incentives as well. So I don't want us to fall into that pit. I don't want us to fall into that trap. I want us to focus only on this and not just make a success out of it. Make only this a success. Tomorrow, if this becomes a success and other cities and other people want to copy this or replicate this, I'm happy to give the template to others.
Wonderful.
Right? And that's why this party is very different. And that's why I think we will not go the way of any other party. And that's why I think we can create true impact at the grassroots level.
Wonderful. I think that's a very nice, as a Bangalorean, it's very nice to hear that. Because I have seen how Bangalore has evolved and today it is literally mutated, right? And we really want some solutions. And
it's a pain that I think most of the Bengalurigas share, right?
Yes.
Look at the city that was in the 80s and 90s and look at where it has come to, right?
Yeah.
Development is very important, but not at the complete destruction of, all that we cherished about the city.
Exactly.
And that's exactly something that we want to work on.
Wonderful, wonderful. The next interesting question that I want to ask you is your team, your founding team, or your in startup parlance, your core team. I think we really want to know about them. Who are who are supporting you? What kind of people are supporting you? That is something that we really are very keen to know.
Yeah. So for me, one of the fundamental underpinnings of anything that we do, whether it is a political party, whether it's a commercial business, whether it's an NGO, the backbone or the core is always the team. If you have a very good team, we are half the way towards delivering a good model out there and building the right stepping stones for success. So one of the first things that I did was to form a strong governing council in BNP. You can always go to the website and see the names of a few people, but these are all very accomplished people, not just in business, but also in civic life.
Okay.
People who have solved for problems. There is one person who's an advisor in the team who has built sustainable communities.
Okay.
There is yet another person who has built beautiful sewage treatment plants which work extremely well. There are people who have worked on civic issues on the ground.
Nice.
So on and so forth, right? So these are the kind of people that are part of the governing council.
Okay.
But beyond that, the core team of BNP, I'll probably take a few names, some of whom I think you also might have interacted with in various forms and fashions. And I think some of the people in Bengaluru also know them. So for example, there is a lady called Lalitamba. I made her quit her corporate life. She was working in Wipro. She's been very passionate about civic issues, working on feeder buses, garbage clearance in her local area. I roped her into the team. There is a person called...
Which background?
She's from a corporate background. She's worked in
IT.
IT background, Wipro for almost 20 years.
Okay.
Right? But I think the bigger passion is civic issues.
Civic issues. Solving civic
Issues, right? Got her in. There's a lady called Pungodai. She's built a very strong RWA community in her own area in South Bangalore near Gotigere. And she's been working on local issues. And I said, these are the kind of people that I need. There is Vishnu Reddy.
So you're headhunting.
I'm going out there, I'm uncorrupting people's minds, right? Saying that, hey, you're doing it at a small scale, right?
Yeah.
I've been doing things in my, I think I've done it at a slightly larger scale.
Yeah.
Through BAF, I've done it at a city level. But still, the impact that I can create and people like us can create is a lot more.
Yes.
So why restrict yourself to that small space? Right? So I've been going around identifying such people. That Vishnu Reddy, who's been working on a few things. He's one of the founding team members of Swiggy. He comes with that startup background as
Wonderful.
well. Right? So I roped him in.
Okay.
There is a youngster called Vinit Muttanna. There is a youngster called Rishi Raghavan.
Okay.
All of them, if you look at it, right, coming from extremely professional backgrounds. Educated. Very passionate about local issues.
Responsible.
Want to bring about change to Nama Bengaluru.
Wonderful.
And it's that kind of a team that I've built. And today, I have a team of about 200 leaders like
Wonderful.
them.
I like
All coming from the grassroots.
I like it when you call 200 leaders, not 200 members. That's a very
200 leaders.
very important statement.
Because these 200 leaders are the ones who are driving change in their respective areas and at their respective board levels. Beyond the point, what I also tell people is, even if you have been creating impact at a local level, continue to do it. I'm getting you in as part of a larger setup. I will work on the larger level problems, but why don't you focus on local level issues as well? That's perfectly fine. So we have a team of about 200 local leaders, BNP leaders.
Nice.
And we have almost about 2,000 area Sabha members.
Wonderful.
Volunteers who are supporting them at the local ward level, local area level. And we are driving the process of change through this team. So the one thing that I'm super proud of is the team that I've built.
Wonderful.
Right? Initially, when I started the party, when I was a single individual doing this, I was actually having sleepless nights, saying, will people
support
or
buy into this?
Right? Yeah, will they buy into this?
Yeah.
Will they want to be part of it? The moment I say a political party,
we have
will they sort of step back and say, no, I don't want to be part of political party? But guess what? First, credit to me that I have done a great job in convincing them. But more importantly, credit to them.
Yes.
Even though this is a political party, they are all doing this for the sake of Nama Bengaluru.
Great.
And that's what I'm saying. If there is one thing, tomorrow, no matter what happens, whether we succeed or not, whether we're able to create impact or not, I think this journey will continue because now we have a team of passionate people who are committed to bringing about change, and they will do it no matter what happens.
Wonderful. So basically, I see that you have a lot of civic leaders right now, and you want them to become political leaders very soon.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Here is an interesting conundrum. You look at the traditional political parties.
Yeah.
They have winnable candidates who can win by doing all kinds of stuff. And the political parties, they try to make them work.
Correct.
But they can't.
They can't.
They try to get them to create impact. They can't because they're not oriented towards that.
Yes.
I'm actually reversing the problem.
Nice.
I'm finding people who are already working on the ground.
Great.
People who are active, passionate. We don't need to teach them that. We don't even need to sort of tell them how to do it. They already know how to do it. Only problem is, these guys are not politicians. They just don't know how to win. And I'm trying to sort of reverse the problem to say, I'm trying to identify people who work, who are active and passionate. How do we make them win?
Nice.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So that's a big difference between BNP and others. Other parties have winnable people, but can't make them work. Here, and I think that's an impossible problem to solve.
Correct.
Whereas here, I'm trying to get people who are working on the ground, people who know how to work and who have already delivered it on the ground. I'm trying to see how best we can make them win.
Great.
And I think that's definitely a solvable problem.
Yes. Wonderful. I really wish, the best for your team. You have, you add more zeros. From 2,000, it will become 20,000 and
2 lakh and
2
20
crores. 20, whatever. I really wish the best.
Thank you so much. We need all the well wishes of good people in Bengaluru, not just you, the entire Bengaluru that's watching it.
Yes.
We need all the good wishes and the prayers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. Another interesting question that I want to ask, I'm very curious to know, how do you get your seed funding or your next level of funding from a startup parlance? How are you raising funds?
Okay. It's a very important question. I know one or two political parties which say that I'm going to try and create impact, but without funds. I don't think that's possible. We will need funds. Particularly in my case, I'm trying to build a professional organization. Today we have 10 full-time employees.
Okay.
We undertake a lot of initiatives. We engage with a social media agency on a monthly basis.
Okay.
We actually work with an accounting firm to whom we pay every month to maintain an MAS. Every month we have an MAS that is discussed at the governing council level. All our accounts are audited.
Okay.
And within the completion of 6 months of the financial year, we put out our accounts in the public domain. So I'm running a professional organization.
So you're making sure that everything is legal, is not there's nothing illegal or there's no cash transaction.
Forget about illegal. I'm making it thoroughly professional. Everything is transparent. There is not a single rupee of cash that we generate in donations. All our accounts are audited. Every expense that we incur, we pay GST or the requisite taxes for that. It's all accounted for. Everything is audited. As professional as a corporate or any other organization can be, and we need money to run such an organization.
Yes.
But first, for that, what I did was I put in my personal money.
Okay. So you bootstrapped the beginning.
Bootstrapped, and I had to show to people that one, I can deliver something with this money.
Correct.
But more importantly, I have to put in money where my mouth is. So till date, I myself have put in almost about 1 crore into the party to ensure that last 6 years we've been able to sustain. So the moment I started doing that, and we've been able to do a lot of work on the ground, which I think we'll talk about, then lots of people are seeing this and said, hey, here is a guy who's putting his money where his mouth is, and he's now able to build something which is demonstrating impact already on the ground. And today we have a set of people who have contributed tens of lakhs of rupees to BNP.
Wonderful.
And a few others who have contributed lakhs of rupees to BNP. And we have thousands of people who regularly donate a few thousands. And that's the way we are running this party. And everybody gets a receipt within 3 days. It's all professionally done. And that makes them contribute more and more. And when they see us creating impact even without contesting elections, they are very, very happy to keep supporting us. In a way, they're also bought into the idea, and they believe that this is not yet another political party. So that again is a matter of great pride for me, that today I think there are more than 3,000 people who are continuously donating to BNP. And to me, they are our brand ambassadors. They are the testimony to the fact that we are doing something right.
So can I say that they're doing an SIP into BNP, and I think the best return you're giving them back is a better Bengaluru?
I never thought of it along those lines, but I think it's a great analogy, right?
I think I would take this opportunity to urge all Bengalurigas and people who are from Bangalore all over the world to support BNP in whatever possible way you can. Reach out to them through their website and be an early stage investor, and the returns are going to come multifold.
Wow, I never thought of it along those lines, but it's a great analogy. What better returns you can get than by saying that Bengaluru, my city, is now the best city in the world. And that's what we are aspiring for. That's what we are building towards. So what better return can you get? So please do invest in BNP.
Yes, invest in BNP.
We will ensure that every rupee is put to good use. I can't guarantee outcomes, but I can guarantee sincerity in our efforts. And I can guarantee that we will go all out to helping us realize that vision of making Bengaluru the best city in the world.
Wonderful. So I have a very connected question to this. I think now that let us assume that all the viewers are going to invest in BNP, but we want to know your long-term plan. What are you going to do? That is what. Can you break it down to us and tell us what are you going to achieve? I think the GBA elections are coming up, right? The Greater Bengaluru Authority elections are coming up.
The corporation elections are coming.
Yeah, and I think we are aware that there are going to be 5 different corporations. So to run up to that, you must be having a plan. And let us say, for example, post-elections, you win a particular municipality. Let us look to think very positive. Or the second option is that you win a few seats and you have corporators. or you don't win at all. So how are you going to tackle all these 3 to 4 situations in the future?
That's actually a very heavy question to say. Let me actually look at it in 3 different parts. Part number 1 is the big picture. Assuming that we get into the municipality where we win a municipality and we have our own mayor. The second part is the micro picture, which is even if we win just 1 ward, forget about a few wards. Let's assume that we win only 1 ward. Can we make an impact in at least that 1 ward? And the third is, if we don't win at all, are we waiting for the elections to happen? What are we doing about it? Actually, let me take it in the reverse order.
Okay.
Today, we haven't yet contested in any election because the elections in Bengaluru, as I think pretty much everybody knows, has been nefariously delayed by the major
Since
parties.
2020, yeah.
Since it's already more than 5 years overdue. But one of the things that I said is, I'm not going to wait for us to get into power. What is it that we can do? So one of the challenges that I threw to myself and to the team is, let's assume that you already are the corporator. What will you do? So very fundamental things that we have already done. We have started taking up issues. The day-to-day issues that impact us. Here is the interesting thing. We started with that Bengaluru Skywalk. I want to sort of go back. And there are people who say that, see, that Bengaluru Skywalk, it got mired in corruption. That's a classic example of why nothing can change in Bengaluru. But I want to tell this to people without even getting into power. In my ward, I, along with a few of this, we got the Skywalk done without even getting into power.
Wow.
How was that possible?
How is that possible? Yeah.
That's because people don't understand how the system works. The MLA has no role to play in this. The MP has no role to play in this. The corporator was stalling it at that point of time.
Okay.
But one of the positive upsides that happened to the elections being delayed is that the corporator went out of power. And nodal officers had to be appointed in each ward.
Okay.
To manage the ward.
So
and the nodal officers were effectively playing the role of the corporator. In September 2020, when the elections didn't happen, by October 2020, the nodal officers had been appointed.
Okay.
And thankfully, in my ward, the nodal officer who got appointed was a person called Randeep Dev. And I'm happy to take his name. It's one of the best guys that I've worked with. He used to be the Special Commissioner for Solid Waste Management at that time. He got appointed as a nodal officer. He's an IAS officer. I'd built a very good relationship and equation with him through PAF. So when he got appointed as a nodal officer, and in the first ward committee meeting, I took up this issue of the Skywalk. He put me on to the Chief Engineer of Road Infrastructure, who put me on to the road infrastructure team.
Nice.
I and a team of citizens in my ward, we worked together with that team 2 months. December 2020, we got the Skywalk done.
Wow.
Not a single rupee of bribe, not a single inch of red tape, not a single percentage of bureaucracy.
Just
in 2 months flat, a project that had been mired in corruption for 2 years. We actually got it done. All it took was a competent person at the helm and a bunch of committed citizens who want to get this done. That is all that it
requires.
And in a way, that's what gave me the confidence also to say, hey, you know what? Change is possible. And we got that Skywalk done. And one of the things that I told my daughter is that you are going to use this Skywalk. And I was a very, very happy father to say that that 17-year-old girl who lost her life, I can't bring it back. Not just my daughter, right? Anybody.
Children,
that. And one of the things that I ensured also is that we put a divider in the middle of the road so that even those crazy people who don't want to use a Skywalk, they cannot cross the road
without using Skywalk. More safer.
And now the Skywalk has been in existence for around 5 years now. And it's a safe place to cross the road. And that is change, that is impact at a grassroots level. But then I built on from there. We constituted area sabhas in many wards with citizens. And I said, don't worry about big issue, small issue. Let's start taking up issues. I created a dedicated team in BNP, put a system and process in place. And over the last few years, our own team members, what we call them as area sabha members, they have raised more than 2,000 issues.
Wow.
And guess what? We have resolved more than 60% of those already.
Wonderful.
We are not in power, but we engage with the system. We engage with the officials. Samadana Bheda Dand.
Nice.
We behave like corporators. And guess what? Many of the officials are responding positively. And not just resolving these issues. We have done a lot more. Details of projects. Transparency is one fundamental aspect of governance. If you have to run something professionally, transparency is a very, very fundamental and integral aspect to it. So we kept on asking for details of projects that are getting approved. The BBMP guys were refusing to give it to us, asking us to file RTIs. Beyond a point, I said, to hell with you guys. I put a team together,
Okay.
a technology team,
Okay.
with MBA students as interns. 3 months, we hacked into the BBMP integrated financial management system, pulled out details of 63,629 ward level projects worth 21,653 crores,
Wow.
ward by ward, year by year, project by project. We put it out in the public domain.
Oh, it's available for public to
Go to nammabnp.org.
Okay.
All the projects at the ward level that were approved in the
Okay,
previous
available.
term of the BBMP 2015 to 20 is available only on one website.
Oh, wow.
That is Bengaluru NavaNirmana party website.
Nice.
We had zero resources, zero money. We got it done. And all it takes is political will to do it. That is what is lacking there. So today you don't get details of those projects on the BBMP website, on the state government website, or on any politician's website. You get it on the website of Bengaluru NavaNirmana party. We have done it without having a single corporator, without being in power. And we have conducted various initiatives. For example, we have created a beautiful program called as Nimma Arogya, affordable preventive healthcare to the slums. Every year we can cover all the slums. Everybody living in a slum or in an underprivileged community, many of them get into problems because you cannot diagnose what's going to come.
Yes.
But today we have created that model. If we are going to get into power, we will replicate that across in many, many wards. And all it takes is 150 rupees to 200 rupees per person to get that health checkup done. And we will do it at the doorstep of these people. That initiative has been created, waiting to be deployed. Of course, I can't do it at a large scale without that money.
Correct.
But I didn't wait for us to get into power to even demonstrate.
Correct.
Today, we have demonstrated a viable concept.
So I think you're not waiting for power. I think we're talking about intention. You have the intention, you want to implement it.
This is an action-oriented party. No dramas, no dharnas, no thing saying that, hey, give us power and we will do this. We are demonstrating day in and day out what we can do.
Even without power.
Even without being in power. And imagine if we are able to get into power, we can magnify that and replicate that at a scale which no city in India has ever seen, with the 200 leaders that I'm talking of.
Wonderful.
And that is the difference between BNP and the other parties. And a whole host of initiatives that we have done. Here is another interesting anecdote. E-Khata has been in the news for quite some time. We have built a E-Khata Center of Excellence. There's a team comprising Mr. Prasad, Mr. Venkatachalam, and Mr. Vishnu. They have developed expertise in E-Khata today that some of the BBMP officials call us and ask us for doubts and clarifications. A system implemented by BBMP, we have developed knowledge and expertise in that, and we have guided tens of thousands of people to get their E-Khatas. But for me, the biggest testimony is a BBMP official calling us and asking us, hey, this specific thing I'm stuck.
Sort this thing?
How do we sort this
Can you
out?
clarify this?
And we are actually providing guidance on that. So, without even getting into power, we can actually do this.
Do things.
So then the other question that comes is, hey, if you're already doing this without being in power, why try to get into power?
Correct. Exactly.
But remember that the impact that we are creating is still only 5 to 10% of what it can be.
That can be.
The city has a budget of almost about 20,000 crores per annum. And every ward gets a budget of 100 to 200 crores, which today is getting siphoned off. We are not able to do anything about that siphoning off. Tomorrow, I want to bring citizen participation, accountability, and transparency to that money that is being spent by the corporations. So that brings me to the second point. If you're able to win just one ward, this overall budget of 20,000 crores for the city, a good chunk gets devolved to the wards. And every ward, irrespective of who's the corporator or who's in power, pretty much every ward gets a budget. Yes, depending on which party it is, it might be a little bit more or less. But every ward has gotten about 100 to 200 crores over a 5-year period. Imagine that amount, 100 to 200 crores at the ward level.
What level?
So even if we win one ward, the corporator that we will have will ensure that citizens are taking the decisions on how this 100 crores is to be spent.
Okay.
We hold the officials accountable to getting it done properly with a proper tendering process. Today, most of the projects don't even go through a tendering process. People don't even know it.
Yeah.
Right? So we will ensure that everything goes through a tendering process. We hold the officials, we hold the contractors accountable. That's the accountability part. And we'll put everything transparently in the public domain.
Nice.
And all of these things, I'm not even promising. We have already done it. Through whatever we have done. And what I'm saying is, tomorrow, give us a platform so that 100 crores can also be spent very well.
Correct.
And beyond that, imagine if you're able to win one entire municipal corporation, the majority of corporators. Just to give you a perspective, today we have 5 corporations instead of BBMP. Let's take one corporation. Let's say East Corporation, Bengaluru East City Corporation. It will have a budget of about 3,000 to 4,000 crores. Look at the scale that we are talking of.
Volume,
right? And today, there is absolutely no meaningful way by which these guys are even thinking about how to deliver governance with that. So for me, the way I look at it is, if I were going to become the mayor of the corporation, one chunk I will reserve for central projects. I will involve experts, urban planning teams, citizen and civic experts, and talk about how to solve for these larger level drain and road related problems. Right?
So you have a proper corporate approach,
constitute, apart from standing committees that will be there, we will have a team of, let's say, citizen experts.
So can we say the BNP corporators can also be called as corporators?
Absolutely. The city has a budget of almost about 20,000 crores per annum. And every ward gets a budget of 100 to 200 crores, which today is getting siphoned off.
With proper scientific research, taking inputs from experts, and probably even, replicating some good practices, maybe in India and all over the world.
Yes.
I guess that's what we're trying to look at.
Absolutely, right? Look at, in a way, I want to look at other cities also, but I don't want to, in a way, blindly copy.
Correct.
Bengaluru is its own unique city, right?
Correct. You
but
get inspired by those ideas and see if you can...
see what are the best practices we can take.
Correct.
But for me, it's putting that structure in place.
Exactly.
Right? Citizen participation, accountability and transparency, and involve citizens as advisors, consultants, right, experts, to contribute to the planning process, to contribute to the governance process, and ensure that it's done in a collaborative fashion. And beyond that, the rest of the money, let's say if there's a budget of 3,000 crores for a corporation, 1,200 crores will reserve for the central things, 1,800 crores I will devolve to the wards and let the wards and citizens of that ward decide what projects they want.
Great.
And imagine, this is a completely new system that we are talking of.
Yes.
Even though I'm talking of it as a new system, this is what the constitution mandates. This is what the law in the city says. All that I'm trying to do is do what the constitution says, do what the law says. So I'm not innovating anything from that perspective,
Correct.
but something that's not been implemented at all for obvious reasons. I want to bring that, as you rightly said, corporate professionalism, corporate discipline, and corporate rigor into the corporator position.
Wonderful. I think my last question to you is that every startup wants to become a unicorn, right? With billions of dollars of valuation. Now, let us put that in BNP's perspective. And I want you to say this message to, I think like you, there are many such people, citizens across this country or probably across the world. I think I want you to address all these people who want to make a change in the political system or the governance system. How would you want them to look at building this particular startup, and what should be their idea of a final unicorn? And what would be the valuation in terms, not in terms of money, but emotions or trust? How would you want to see that?
I think you already beautifully put it. I do want to put a value to this, not in monetary terms. There is one value that I'm working towards, or one valuation I'm working towards. I still haven't thought about who it should be, but I want a global accredited agency to declare Bengaluru as the best city in the world.
Wonderful.
And that to me is the unicorn status that I want, not for BNP to have, but for Bengaluru to have. Right? By the year 2047.
Okay. So you have
on the 100th anniversary of India's independence.
Nice.
I want Bengaluru to be declared as the best city in the world. A city which has motorable roads with no traffic jams, walkable footpaths which are used by lot of citizens, drains which are beautifully flowing without any flooding, lakes from which you can take water and drink it without having to without it having to go through any treatment process. Skywalks which make it easy for people to commute, restoring the tree cover and the greenery. These are all the elements of a beautiful city. Of a best city.
Wonderful.
Of course, along with that, Bengaluru being the Silicon City, all of that we already understand that.
Correct.
But going beyond that and adding these elements, and I do want Bengaluru to be declared the best city in the world. That is the unicorn status that I want BNP to get us to achieve.
Nice.
And that's the unicorn status I want Bengaluru to achieve. And if we have to get there, citizens have to be at the core of it.
Correct.
Right? Citizens can contribute in many different ways. You talked about financial investment, but any of you want to contribute, and right now I'm addressing the people who are watching this podcast. You can contribute in many different ways to making Bengaluru the best city in the world. By all means, a financial contribution, even if it is 100, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, it all adds up. That definitely helps. But beyond that, if you just want to support a party like BNP without being cynical about it, that will go a long way. If you think that you also can spend a little bit of time, you can volunteer your time with BNP. You want to go beyond that, you want to take on some small leadership roles within BNP, take the responsibility for an area or a ward, you're more than welcome to do so. Or at a larger level, you want to contest as a corporator and be directly part of the process, you can do that too. So there are many different ways.
Can I volunteer?
More than welcome, Sachin. Somebody like you who's been involved in the city's governance through BPAC and other organizations. It's people like you who need to step in.
Yes.
And one of the things I think that I've been telling you in the past also, people like you need to jump into politics.
Yes.
This type of politics. I hope that I will see you in BNP some point.
Sure.
Either contesting or taking on a leadership role as well.
Yes.
But for now, whatever you're doing, you're still doing a great job.
Thank you.
Let's keep building on that.
Yes. On this note, I would want to, end this show and this discussion with you. I think I go back with a lot of hope for Namma Bengaluru.
Yes.
And as a Bengaluriga, it makes me feel so nice to, hear all these things from you. And I really, really hope that, you win these elections and work on the transformation that you're planning to bring around for Bengaluru. And I also urge to all the citizens of Bengaluru, all the Bengalurigas, to support such kind of a cause. And, and also take politics more seriously. Because he has taken it very seriously.
Yes.
And also take governance and civic issues more seriously. I think it's easier for us to put things on social media and rant about it, but I think the change has to come from within and on the ground. So it's very important for us to work with such kind of organizations and political parties and bring that real change. Yeah, wishing you all the best and your time.
Thank you, Sachin. I'll just close it out by saying this, that if we have to achieve that vision, that unicorn status, if we have to bring about that impact, it's in your hands, it's in my hands, it's in our hands.
Correct.
Right? We have to shed that cynicism and skepticism that we have. Let's put in our best efforts. Let's put our best foot forward. Right? Don't worry about the outcomes that are going to come later.
Correct.
We need to put that best step forward, that first step forward.
Yes.
If we do that with sincerity, with dedication, I'm very confident that we will get there.
Yes.
And we have no choice but to do this because this is our city,
Yes.
our pride, our responsibility.
Correct.
Thank you, Sachin, for having me on.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
So I urge every Bengaluriga to be an investor in Namma Bengaluru. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sachin.
Thank you. Pleasure.